This is not just a message, it is a wake-up call. You have been told that life begins at birth and ends at death. That once your body takes its final breath, the lights go out, and that's it, nothingness. But what if I told you that this is one of the greatest lies ever told? What if I told you that your soul never dies? Take a moment and do these 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on Bible Peak, share this video, and comment "I trust God, I am spiritually awakened" below. That what you are experiencing right now is only a small fragment of a much larger journey. Your soul has been traveling for thousands of years, through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, each life shaping the next. And what you do in this life will determine what happens to you after your final breath. This is not just a theory, this is a spiritual law, an ancient truth that has been hidden from you. Because if you knew this, you would begin to live differently. You would stop chasing things that do not last. You would stop fearing death. You would begin to wake up. And that is what the enemy fears the most. Because when you wake up, you break free. Your soul is eternal. It does not belong to this physical world. Right now, you are inside a temporary body, a temporary identity, but this is not who you truly are. You are energy, consciousness, divine intelligence. And when this body fails, when the illusion of time fades, your true journey begins once again. You will remember every choice you made. Every action, every hidden thought, every moment of joy and every regret will play before you like a grand revelation. And then, something remarkable happens. You do not disappear into nothingness. You ascend. Your soul detaches from the material world, shedding the burdens, the pain, the illusion. And you are taken to realms beyond human comprehension, where your life is weighed, your soul is refined, and your destiny is rewritten. But here is the greatest question of all: will you continue the cycle? Or will you finally break free? To understand the answer, we must go back to the beginning. Back to the moment where it all starts again, birth. When you are born, the cycle resets. A breath fills your lungs. A cry echoes through the air. And your soul re-enters the great illusion, this material world. But here's the secret: you have been here before. But you do not remember. The moment you take your first breath, you forget the journey before this one. You forget who you truly are. But the cycle never forgets you. The moment you enter this world, the illusion takes hold. You are given a name, an identity, a role to play. You are taught what is real and what is not. You are molded, conditioned, and programmed to believe that life is only about what you can see, hear, and touch. But this is the lie. Because what you see is not the truth. Everything in this world is temporary. Your body, your possessions, your status, your wealth, all of it will fade. But your soul? Your soul is eternal. Yet, most people never realize this. They become fully immersed in the illusion. They chase money, success, power, and pleasure, thinking that these things will bring them fulfillment. But no matter how much they achieve, no matter how much they accumulate, they still feel empty. Because deep down, the soul knows this world is not its true home. But by the time most people realize this, it is almost too late. Because the cycle is already pulling them forward. And then, something begins to happen. The body starts to age. The fire of youth begins to fade. And for those who are awake, this is the turning point. A moment of transformation. A chance to finally break free. But for those who are blind to the truth, who cling desperately to youth, to material gain, to status, this is where the real suffering begins. Because nothing in this world lasts. And when everything they worked for begins to slip away, they spiral into fear, regret, and desperation. Because they placed their hope in things that were never real to begin with. You have a decision to make. Will you continue chasing what is temporary? Or will you begin seeking what is eternal? Because one day, this body will fail. The illusion will fade. And what remains will be the truth. And that truth will determine what happens next. Your soul is standing at the edge of awakening. But only you can choose to open your eyes. Will you continue to sleep? Or will you finally wake up? Stay with me. Because in the next part, we will uncover what happens the moment you take your last breath, and why death is not the end, but the beginning of your soul's greatest journey. Now, take a moment and do this: hit the subscribe button on Bible Peak, share this video, and comment "I trust God, I am spiritually awakened" below. Because this is more than just a message, this is a wake-up call. Your soul is listening. The question is, will you answer? Your soul is not bound by time the way your body is. What seems like a single lifetime to you is merely one chapter in the vast, unfolding journey of your existence. The cycle does not begin at birth or end at death. It is a continuous process of learning, evolving, and transcending. But most souls do not remember. They do not realize they have been here before. They do not understand that every choice, every action, every attachment is pulling them either toward liberation or deeper into the cycle of reincarnation. Here is the truth: the life you are living now is only one stage of a much greater design. And unless you awaken to this reality, you will keep returning, lifetime after lifetime. Repeating the same lessons, making the same mistakes, and chasing the same illusions. So what happens when you die? Where does your soul go? And more importantly, how do you break free the moment you are born? The illusion begins again. A newborn child enters the world pure, untainted, and still connected to the truth. For a short time, the infant remembers. It sees beyond the physical world. It exists in a state of awareness that is beyond words, beyond thoughts, just pure being. But it does not last. Very quickly, the conditioning begins. You are given a name, an identity, a culture, a belief system. You are taught what is real and what is not, what is possible and what is impossible. You are told that you are separate from others, that you must compete, achieve, accumulate, and so, you begin to forget. The soul, which was once free, becomes trapped in the illusion of self, of flesh, of desires. You begin chasing things that do not last: money bag money, trophy success, crown power, red heart love from others, scroll recognition and legacy. You are told that these things matter, that they will make you happy, fulfilled, complete, and so you chase them. But no matter how much you achieve, the emptiness remains. Because deep inside, your soul remembers. It knows that none of these things are real. But by the time most people begin to wake up, it is already too late. The body starts to age, decay, weaken. The illusion begins to fade, and soon, whether you are ready or not, the cycle moves forward. When the body takes its last breath, the illusion finally shatters. Everything you thought was permanent, your name, your status, your wealth, your achievements, disappear in an instant, and for the first time since birth, you see the truth. You realize that you were never the body, you were never the mind, you were never the identity that you spent your whole life protecting. You were always something greater. At first, there is no pain, no fear, only freedom. You feel weightless, unchained, pure consciousness. And then, something happens. Your entire life flashes before you. Every decision, every moment, every thought, every action, not just as you remember them, but as they truly were. This is known as the life panorama. You see not only what you did, but how you made others feel, every pain you caused, every love you shared, every secret intention behind your actions. You do not just watch it, you feel it. If you hurt someone, you feel their pain as if it were your own. If you brought joy, you feel that joy magnified. And in this moment, there is no more hiding. You are faced with the absolute truth of who you were. This is where the soul must make a choice. Do you accept the truth? Or do you resist? Do you let go? Or do you cling to what you lost? For those who cannot accept their death, who cannot let go of their attachments, they do not move forward, they linger, they remain trapped between worlds, refusing to release what is already gone. And this is how some souls become lost. They become shadows, wandering, unable to move on. But for those who are ready, the journey continues. This is not a place of fire, not a place of torment. It is a place of purification, a space where everything unresolved must be faced. If you inflicted pain, you must now experience that pain in full. If you carried regrets, they will rise up to be acknowledged. If you held on to anger, greed, jealousy, those emotions must now be released. Many souls struggle here. They resist. They do not want to face what they have done, and so, they remain stuck, suffering in their own refusal to let go. But this is not punishment, it is purification. Only once the soul has released its burdens, only once it has accepted the truth of its existence, can it move forward. Beyond purgatory lies the world of wisdom. Here, there is no body, no emotion, only pure thought, pure intelligence, pure consciousness. It is here that the soul understands the full weight of its journey. It sees how every action, every decision, every thought shaped not only its past life, but its next. It sees that nothing was random, that the people it met, the challenges it faced, the blessings it received, all were part of a greater design. Here, the soul begins to prepare for the next life. For those who have lived with wisdom, who have sought truth, they can now choose their path. They set their own challenges, they select their own lessons, they decide how they will return, with a mission, with purpose. But for those who still lack awareness, they are drawn back automatically, pulled by the energy they have created. Some return as child prodigies, geniuses, natural-born leaders, echoes of mastery from past lives. Others return to struggle, to suffer, to repeat the lessons they refuse to learn. This is the highest realm before reincarnation. Here, the soul reaches its purest form, free from all personal attachments. It experiences true rest. It absorbs the deepest spiritual truths. But even here, the journey is not over. No soul stays forever. Because every soul must return, must be reborn, must enter the great illusion once again. The cycle continues, unless the soul finally wakes up, unless it chooses to break free. And that is the greatest question of all. Will you awaken, or will you return, repeating the same cycle, lifetime after lifetime? Imagine if, the moment you were born, you could remember every single experience from every past life, every joy, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every failure, every regret, every mistake. The weight of it would be unbearable. You would not be able to focus on the present moment. You would be paralyzed by memories of past pain, past loves, past losses. This is why the soul is veiled in forgetfulness when it enters a new life. Not as a punishment, but as a gift. Each life is a new opportunity to grow, to evolve, to experience existence with fresh eyes. If you could remember every failure, every heartbreak, you might never take a risk again. If you could remember every betrayal, you might never open your heart to love. Forgetting allows the soul to start again, to learn lessons without bias, without preconceptions, without fear. But while most souls forget completely, some remember fragments. Some are born with an unexplainable wisdom, as if they have carried knowledge from a previous existence. Some feel drawn to places they have never been, recognizing landscapes they have never seen before in this life. Some experience déjà vu, a sudden sense of familiarity with people or moments they could not possibly remember. These are glimpses of past lives trying to surface. For those who are spiritually advanced, who have meditated deeply, who have spent lifetimes seeking truth, the memories do not fade entirely. because they have moved beyond the illusions of the physical world and have begun to remember who they truly are. But even for them, the ultimate goal is not just to remember, it is to break free from the cycle altogether. The question is, how do you stop repeating the same cycle over and over again? How do you finally break free from the illusion and transcend to a higher state of existence? The answer lies in awakening, in remembering what the physical world truly is, and in choosing to live beyond the illusions that keep most souls trapped. Here's how. 1. Recognize that this life is only a small part of your soul's journey. The biggest trap of the physical world is believing that it is all there is, that your job, your possessions, your reputation, your success, that these things define you. But they don't. They never have. They are temporary. The moment your soul leaves this body, none of it will matter. You will not take your wealth. You will not take your status. You will not take your power. The only thing you will take is who you have become, the lessons you have learned, the love you have shared, the wisdom you have gained. That is the only thing that is eternal. So the first step to escaping the cycle is to detach from the illusion, to see the world for what it truly is, a school, a test, a temporary reality meant to teach you. Once you recognize that, you can begin to live differently. 2. Practice meditation and spiritual awareness. Most people live their lives asleep. They move through their days reacting, never truly present. They are trapped in thought, distraction, emotion. They are controlled by fear, desire, attachment. To break free, you must learn to still the mind, to become aware of who you truly are beyond the noise of daily life. Meditation is not just about relaxation, it is about awakening. It is about separating yourself from the constant pull of thought, from the endless distractions of the physical world. When the mind is silent, the truth begins to emerge. You begin to see clearly. You begin to feel a connection to something greater. You begin to remember. This is why so many great spiritual masters, prophets, and enlightened beings have spoken about the power of silence, prayer, and meditation, because when the noise of the world fades, the voice of the soul becomes clear, and in that clarity, the illusions of life lose their power over you. 3. Understand the laws of the universe. Nothing in existence is random. Everything operates by divine laws. The law of cause and effect. What you do in one life echoes into the next. The law of vibration. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions create energy that shapes your destiny. The law of oneness. Everything in creation is connected, and what you do to others, you do to yourself. When you begin to understand these laws, you stop living blindly. You stop thinking your actions do not matter. You realize that every choice you make is shaping your soul's journey, that you are not just a victim of fate, but an active participant in your own evolution. And with that knowledge, you begin to align your life with truth. You stop chasing what is temporary and start seeking what is eternal. And that shift in focus begins to break the chains that keep most souls bound to the cycle. 4. Live with love, compassion, and integrity. Many people think enlightenment is about seeking knowledge, but knowledge alone is not enough. What truly elevates the soul is how you live. Every act of love, every moment of kindness, every choice to forgive rather than hate. These are the things that purify the soul, because what you give to others, you ultimately give to yourself. The soul that is filled with love, patience, and wisdom does not need to return. It has nothing left to learn. Here, it is free, but the soul that is still full of anger, greed, selfishness, and attachment, it must come back, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity, to heal, to grow, to transform, to learn the lessons it refused to learn before. Every act of love is a step toward liberation. Every act of selfishness is a step deeper into the cycle. The choice is yours. 5. Release attachments and embrace truth. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the obsession with status, wealth, validation. Let go of the illusion that you are only this body, only this name, only this single life. You are infinite. You are eternal. And when you fully accept that, the fear of death disappears, because you realize you have died 1,000 times before, and yet, here you are. Still learning, still evolving, still seeking truth. The only way to break free is to finally see the illusion for what it is, a test, a journey, a temporary moment in a much greater reality. Once you understand this, once you embrace it, you will never fear again, and in that moment, the cycle begins to dissolve, because the soul that wakes up no longer needs to return. Your life is not an accident. Your soul did not come here by mistake. Before you were born, your soul chose this path, knowing the lessons it needed to learn, the struggles it needed to face, and the growth it needed to achieve. But now, standing at the crossroads of understanding, you must make a choice. Will you continue the cycle, living and dying, trapped in the illusion, unaware of the greater truth, or will you wake up, free yourself from the illusion and step into a higher level of spiritual evolution? This is the decision every soul must face. For most, the cycle continues. They remain asleep, they chase the same desires, make the same mistakes, and live in fear of death, never realizing that they have been here before. But for a few, for those who listen, who question, who seek the truth, something shifts. They begin to see beyond the surface. They begin to understand that life is not just about survival, ambition, or accumulation. It is about awakening. And once a soul awakens, once it truly sees the illusion for what it is, it can never go back. So the question is, will you choose to wake up, or will you stay asleep, repeating this life over and over again? The choice has always been yours.